Let's bring him on. We get out to the Corona Hotline and say hello to the new general manager of the Chicago Bears. Ryan Poles joins Carmen and Jurko on ESPN 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app. Ryan, welcome. Congratulations to you again. How are you?
Thank you. Doing great. How are you?
We're doing well. How was the first press conference running the show? Were you a little nervous getting up there when this is your thing now,
this is your baby.
Everybody's turning to you for the answer. So what was that first press conference like?
You know what? I felt prepared, to be honest with you. And there's some nerves, getting to the first words that come out of your mouth. But once I got rolling, I felt pretty comfortable.
You were a finalist in Carolina last year. There were teams again that were interested in you this offseason. But you're still young. I mean, when did you kind of have an idea? I don't know if you think it's fast-tracked, but it sort of feels like you've been fast-tracked. When did you have an idea that, you were going to get one of these jobs?
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint, exactly what point. But, I've been really fortunate to be in a place that I was able to learn from a lot of really good people and just go through the whole process and go from being a team that was struggling to being a Super Bowl champion. And through that, there's just so many lessons that you can learn and apply once you get into that seat. So I feel prepared. I've been through a lot, and I'll be able to take a lot of those lessons and apply it here.
So how do you turn it around?
Yeah, you got to get the right people. And you got to put players in a position to succeed. And really, for a front office, we got to do a really good job with the draft. And we got to be smart and disciplined with free agency.
How do you do that when your first round picks? Your predecessor here used to give them away like candy. How do you get that done when you've got a limited amount of picks? When you walked in here, that's the situation you have.
Yeah, it's value, right? I mean, you evaluate the prospects and you put them up on the board. And sure, we don't have a first round pick this year. We actually do, Justin Fields. So I feel good about that. And then from there, it's all about value, putting guys on the board that can help us win. They're going to meet, the characteristics that we're looking for and be in positions that are going to help us win, not only now, but down the road. And then the other thing is there's also value that you can get after the draft as well. So we're going to attack that just like we would if we had 11 picks.
Jurko, not even joked. I mean, it's a true statement. I mean, the previous regime here certainly was very comfortable with just trading up a lot. Do you have a specific philosophy when it comes to the draft? If that's trading up, trading back, anything like that?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you want as many draft picks as possible. There's different ways to getting that done. Some years it's going to work, and some years we're just going to have to stay put and make our selection. And maybe there's years where we go up and get someone. But generally speaking, definitely you want as many picks as possible. We will try to do that. But again, every year is different, so we'll take it year by year.
Bears GM Ryan Poles joining us on ESPN 1000.
How aggressive in free agency are you guys going to be able to be? And I'm crunching numbers myself here in the periphery. How much do you think we're going to have to play with here?
There's going to be good enough, amount to really improve the roster. I'm a huge second and third wave guy in terms of free agency. I think you can find players that are highly motivated in that area. They want to reach free agency again. They want to prove people wrong that they should have been in the first wave. And you can get more players if that's where you play. So we'll have it lined up. We'll give it the staff here starting tomorrow, actually, and have a plan of attack.
I like that second and third wave. I myself was a ninth wave guy.
Well,
way back.
It worked out well for you.
Way back in the waves.
Don't worry about it. On attacking free agency and specifically the task at hand, I guess now, Ryan, like when you started preparing for this moment, knowing that the Bears were at least interested, when you started preparing for the interview, when you got the job, the work you've done in the last 6 days or so, when you look at what you have, is there an area that jumps out at you that needs the most help?
There's a lot of room for improvement. I'm not going to get into specifically right now because we're putting a coaching staff together. We're going to change the defense. Mm-hmm. So their input is important. The scheme's important. So once we have that set, we'll have a little bit more clarity on where we're going to attack first and where we need to improve.
What led you to Matt Eberflus for head coach?
Yeah, as I said in the press conference, There's a criteria I was looking for. There was a leader of men. There was relentlessness. There was poise, a detailed plan, discipline, and energy. And he brings all of that. And I think these players are going to be really excited to perform for him and get better.
What'd you think about the Bears as an organization, specifically your chance to sit down with George, with Ted, and with Polian?
Yeah, the one thing that stood out is they value people first and foremost. I know that's not going to solve all the problems, but they value people, and they will give you every resource to get it right. I mean, this building, you got to be kidding me in terms of everything that's here. They got the top training room. They got a great weight room. They have all the people. So they want to win. They're hungry to win, and they want to get it done, soon. So I had a really good meeting with them, and I'm excited to work with them.
Before you were in this position of officially getting the job, Ryan, the Bears obviously were doing their due diligence, interviewing some potential head coaches. Was there anyone that they did not interview that you asked to talk to for this job?
Yeah, so if this thing kept going, there would have been more, but once I was hired, they handed everything off to me. So as I started to work through my list, and a lot of those guys that were here were on my list, and I think that it was from the Zoom interview when I first started. I just was convicted with Matt. I truly was. He met the criteria. He's exactly what this team needs, and I ended it because I was convicted, and I went with it. I even called, some really foundational people in my life, as well as some Hall of Famers and guys that know the game really well. And I told them how I felt. And it was like, go with your gut. When you know. So I feel good with the process.
So they never told you have to pick. You can pick the coach, but you have to pick from one of these three finalists. Did they ever tell you that?
Nope, never happened.
All right. Did you ever think about maybe wanting to talk to Eric Bieniemy, considering how closely you've worked with him and how well you know him?
Yeah, and listen, there's a lot of factors, that go with that. But I just never got to that point. And I love Eric. He's a really good coach, but this was the right man for this job.
Now I'm friends with Andy Reid, and I'm gonna get a hold of Andy Reid here somewhere down the line here. Now that those guys have crapped
By the way, we texted him last week. He was extremely complimentary of you. Just so you know.
Yes, he was. But when I talked to him, what is it that he's going to tell me about you, Ryan Poles, the kind of guy you are?
Yeah, he's going to tell you that I approach everything like an offensive lineman. I believe in, no ego, no pride. We put the work in. We lean on each other. If you got my inside, have my inside. If you got my outside, have my outside. We're going to work together as a unit, and we're going to get it done. And we're going to show some toughness and some resilience, and we're going to be successful. So I think he'll tell you all of those things. I think poise, really not get too high or too low, and being able to make sound decisions.
Ryan Poles for a few more minutes. He's the new general manager of the Bears. He's joining Carmen Jurko on ESPN 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app. I know it takes 53 and sometimes even more than that. Like, this is a big locker room, a big group of guys, and you need a lot to make a great football team. I also think the quarterback is probably the most important position in all of sports, let alone the one that you're in, Ryan. Considering how important Justin Fields is to your future, why not an offensive-minded head coach?
Because, in my research, that wasn't consistent. It was the leader. It was the leader that can set the team together. I would agree with you that the quarterback position is important. And we're going to have an offensive coordinator and a quarterback coach and those that are going to really get Justin in a place where he's comfortable and confident. So I understand the question completely. But if you go down the list of good coaches and good teams in this league, even with elite quarterbacks, that's just not the case. So to me, it was all about the leader.
Luke Getsy's about your age. He sounds like a fast riser. What should we know about the new offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy?
Yeah, he's got energy. He's got passion for the game. He's a teacher, which is important. He has relationships with players, which is also important, especially in today's locker room. And he's going to be about fundamentals and getting things the right way. And then the beautiful thing is he's worked with some really good quarterbacks. And like I said in the press conference, what we're going to do and what he's going to be doing is putting Justin in a position to succeed and finding out what he does well. We're going to do that. And then whatever his weaknesses are, we're going to attack it, and he's going to get better each and every day.
What do you think about Fields?
I like him. I like him. He's dynamic. He's athletic. He's got a great arm. Again, Matt hit on the word potential. Everyone's kind of sick of the word potential, but he's talented. And if we just put it together, we give him weapons, we surround him, we get him protection, and again, do what he does best, the sky's the limit. And I'm excited to see where that ceiling is. So
before we let you go, I want to play something for you real quick.
It's a song.
No, it's not a song.
Oh, it's not a song, Carmen?
So Matt Ryan was on our station with our afternoon show with Waddle and Sylvie last week. Tom Waddle, a great Bear who was also a BC star. I'm sure you know about the legend of Tom Waddle. So because of the BC connection, they spent about 15 fantastic minutes last week after you got the job talking to Matt Ryan. And then I think Sylvie brought up the point that the Falcons are on your schedule. You guys will go down there in 2022. And I want you to listen to this real quick.
Listen, we used to play a lot of basketball together, a lot of Xbox. This isn't the first time we're going head to head.
Right.
And it's like when you're going against your brothers or something like that. You try, you're trying as hard as you can to make sure you beat them. And I'm sure he'll be doing that. He knows I'll be doing that.
Was he one of those big guys who thought he can go on the outside, or would he do the dirty work on the inside?
No. He's got some good hands. He's got some good touch, could shoot, light on his feet for a bigger guy, really light on his feet. He's talented and was a really good basketball player. We would have a lot of fun doing it, but he also could go back to the basket and have some nice post moves.
Did you guys participate in the intramural league?
We did.
Did you win it?
I think one year. No, but
really?
they kind of banned us from doing it again. I think we got in a little trouble from the football from the coaches up there, but. No, we had like 3 different football teams in it, and our team did not end up winning.
I don't know how you guys didn't win with the kind of athletes that you got on that basketball team, but more back to the basket or like step away and shoot the 3? What was your style on the basketball court?
I could do both. I was versatile.
Matt, Matt, it sounds like Matt was telling the guys, like, there's a big group of you that have stayed really close over the years. You guys are on the same text chain, and you've had a pretty good bond with him all these years, right?
Yeah, you guys know, like when you're in a locker room for 4 to 5 years, there's a bond that never goes away, and it's actually really cool because we're all busy, so you disappear for months at a time, and then you all pop up on a text or make a trip or hit a wedding, and it's like you never left.
Yeah.
So I love Matty, great dude, has had a great career, so it's kind of cool that he was able to get on and say those things.
Ryan, listen, we wish you the best.
Yeah,
Believe
best of
me.
luck, brother.
Good luck. We know you got a lot of work to do, and we'll let you get to it. We appreciate the time. Congrats.
Thank you.
There's Ryan Poles, the new general manager of the Chicago Bears. We go from Ryan